Hello, my beautiful friend. Welcome back to the Meant to Bloom podcast, where we're here to talk real life motherhood struggles and simple steps to a brighter, more abundant perspective. After years of struggling with depression and mental health, I learned to be a happy mom. And I'm here to share the steps and walk with you along your journey to the life that you're meant to be living, full of peace, joy, and love. I'm your host, Brittany Clarkson, and we are meant to bloom. Hell, I'm so excited to have you here. Okay, I am beside myself right now because I have a brand new mic, and it's just like I feel like a kid in a candy store, Like I got a brand new toy, and I'm so excited. I don't. It's Can you tell a difference? I can tell a major sound quality difference already, and I'm not too keen on noticing sound quality. That's my husband's expertise around here. He's the sound tech. But anyways, not on my show at least. Like, don't. He doesn't do my sound. This is my thing, not his. Anyways, I'm sure you all kind of understand that a little bit. Today I want to talk. Let's try to keep this quick. I want to get to the point. So done being distracted on that. I want to talk about limiting your decisions because decision fatigue is just a monster. It is a hassle and it is so freaking annoying. Decision fatigue. Do you know this concept? The idea is that we make thousands of decisions every single day. A lot of them are our subconscious decisions that we're making, but then we're also faced with having to decide so many things. This is part of that mental load of motherhood that we hear about, where, being the default parent, being the home manager, we're overseeing the home, we're overseeing the family, we're overseeing the schedules, we're overseeing the meal plans, we're also trying to maintain our own mental health and sanity and peace and joy in the process. There's a lot of decisions to be made here. Your kids constantly coming to you. Can I have a snack? What's for dinner? Is this in the budget? Did you order that thing? Do we need to get groceries? So many questions, so many decisions. And I think that's why sometimes I personally, and I think a lot of us do this, we tend to try to numb out and not make decisions for a while. Like whenever we get a chance to sit down and rest, it's like, let me just play a game on my phone or scroll social media or watch TV so that I can just have a brain break from making decisions. And here's the thing that I have been really discovering and kind of becoming a nerd about is that we're not really getting a brain break when we do that. Yeah, it's blowing my mind too. So often I will sit down and start playing like a puzzle game on my phone. And I'm like, well, it's not bad for me because I'm playing a puzzle game. It's good for your brain. Forgetting that every single time I'm touching my screen, every single thing, this is not a brain break. This is a brain building exercise. And I am fatiguing my brain even more. I am exhausting myself, making more and more decisions than I don't have to be making in a day. Those are unnecessary decisions playing these brain games. Or I'll try to numb out by scrolling social media. And one thing we don't realize is that social media has trained us to be judges. Every single thing you're seeing, you are judging. Am I going to hit that like button? Am I going to hit a follow button? Am I going to click this storefront to go, buy a product that I just saw that I liked? We're actually making more and more and more decisions on our break time, so to speak. When we're trying to rest, we are not actually allowing rest. That's something I've been noticing so much more and more and more. Like, rest is hard to intentionally, on purpose, actually give your brain a rest. I can let my body rest. That's easy to kick my feet up. But to let my brain rest and to not think for a little while, it's really difficult. Honestly, I caught myself, I was going for a little walk the other day while my kids were playing. And I realized that I was having a really hard time. I was very, very restless in my brain mentally. My brain just kept jumping from planning for things and ruminating on things and, trying to enjoy this present moment. And then my brain gets on this whole train of thought and I realize I can't just rest my brain. Like even when I think I'm not thinking about something, I'm talking through to myself something I want to tell you here on the podcast. Like I'm planning a podcast episode in my brain instead of just not doing anything and just being. So decision fatigue, it's something that really happens to us. And I think if you pay more and more attention to it, you're going to realize that we do this to ourselves too. Like there's a lot of necessary decisions in our day, but a lot of times our default is to just keep making decisions until we want to pull our hair out and we're just, irritable and on edge and we're just at the end of the rope, so to speak. Um, decision fatigue. It's really the root of many, many issues in my own mental health. And it can really just screw with your mind. Because here's the thing is when you start to hit that decision wall where the fatigue starts setting in that you've made too many decisions, we start to kind of get paralyzed in our decision making and it becomes indecisiveness. And then when you've just hit your quota for decisions of the day and now it's dinner time and you can't decide what to make and you feel like this simple thing it's just like crumbling down, or your husband gets home and he asks questions to you immediately and you're just like, I'm done for the day. A lot of times we can take that and like make it mean something about us, and our worthiness. And it can really, it can become an opportunity for you to start tearing yourself down, to start reinforcing all those limiting beliefs, all the negative beliefs about yourself. It can become a time for you to start bullying yourself and just putting yourself down. Because in our brain, making a decision should be easy. And we're forgetting that we've already made 100,000 decisions today. And we've just hit our limit. And it's okay to hit your limit. That's understandable. That's normal. That happens. You're supposed to have a limit for how many decisions to make. And here's some things we can do to sort of limit the amount of decisions that we're going to make in a day so that our, exhausted brain can finally have an actual break. There's some things that I have been intentionally implementing. Some of them started out as accidents. Like I just realized after a while I was in a pattern, like in a rhythm of doing the same thing over and over again. And rhythms in life, sticking with like a daily pattern or a weekly pattern can be really, really beneficial in this because you're not making the decision to do something. You're already just like, you've mapped it out and you're just doing the same thing again. Kind of like if you're driving to the grocery store, when you've made that drive so many times, the same drive over and over and over again, you no longer have to think about every single turn. It becomes an autopilot sort of situation where you just know how to get there. We can do this with all of the small menial things within our day is, plan out that map ahead of time. Your first time it can be tough because you're having to refer to that map over and over and over again. Or, looking down at your GPS or having your GPS on to chime in every time it's time to turn. Which, you can set reminders on your phone to be your daily GPS through your day to remind you what time you need to shift activities and do something different. You can totally do that. I hope that tracked and made sense. But yeah, after a while, it becomes autopilot and you no longer have to think about it. So there's a few things that we can do intentionally to make this easier. I have recently decided to implement like themed days for around the house work. I used to be a real advocate for doing laundry every single day, and it's just not happening anymore. I'm finding it more therapeutic for myself to do the bulk of the laundry one time a week. Sometimes I have to do it multiple times, and that's fine if I'm doing one basket here and there extra. But I do the bulk of all my folding on one day now, which I have decided to make Thursdays. I do my scrubbing toilets on Tuesdays. I take out the trash Wednesday morning before trash comes, which, taking out the trash means emptying every single trash bin, cleaning out the little critter cages because my kids have a hamster and a gerbil, and I have to oversee that done. cleaning out the litter box, tidying up the garage, these types of things, emptying out the vacuum canisters. All of that becomes taking out the trash for me. So I, round up all the trash in the whole house at that point. So it's a 1-day task, But yeah, so I've started doing that. That's a brand new implementation, but it's based on a pattern I've already found myself in a lot of ways. And I just went and kind of mapped it out, like, okay, 6 days a week, I'm gonna have one focus area for the day. And we're gonna let it be at that. And that seems to be working pretty well around here right now. Some of the other things I've done is rotating meal plans. I'm not currently using this, but now that we're into fall weather and I have like just an array of fall meals I really love to eat repeatedly a lot, I will probably be putting together a rotating meal plan for my family where we're just going to sift through the same small handful of recipes over and over and over again until we're sick of it and need to change. But I did write a blog post a few years back. It's actually been my most successful and most viewed blog post of all time to date. And that's incredible to me. But that was based on a 6-week rotating meal plan. And so the idea is you plan out your 6 weeks of meals. And there's a step-by-step how-to. I will link it in the show notes so you can find it. Or you can go to brittanyclarkson.com/meal plan and you'll be able to find all my blog posts about meal planning over there. And that is one of those. It's on my 5 meal plans post if you're looking at that page. But anyways, you map out 6 weeks of meals. And once you hit that 6 weeks, you repeat the whole thing. Or you can make it 4 weeks, or you can make it 2 weeks, or you could make it 1 week, honestly. You could repeat the same 1 week of meals every single week until you guys are sick of it and then change it. But it's going to eliminate decision fatigue. You can use the same grocery list over and over again, to eliminate your fatigue about having to create this from scratch and make all these decisions. Just repeat it. We do that a lot around here. We try to simplify, and it's like breakfast. My husband's the only one who cooks breakfast around here. So that happens on weekends. He gets to make those decisions. For weekday breakfasts, it's always the same 3 decisions, really. Okay, 4. There's 4 because my kids like French toast squares. The little toaster, like Eggo French toast squares. They love those. So there's French toast squares, or something freezer toasted. There's bagels. There's cereal, and there's oatmeal. And we rotate those. Like you pick from those 4 options anytime. That's it. Like I don't plan for breakfast. Lunch is usually about kind of the same situation for us. It's like, we can toss in a pizza, we could go out, we could have sandwiches, we could have cheese and cracker board, we can do, we'll do like a snack board. But for the most part, we don't deviate from really simple lunches on repeat. Sandwiches or a snack board is usually what we do, which a snack board is like, it's a charcuterie board. My kids call it a cutie board. And we'll throw on cheese and crackers, maybe like a meat stick or some pepperonis, any kind of fruit we have around, maybe some veggies and ranch, pop some popcorn and put it on there. Whatever we have, we just toss it all on. And there's always something that somebody likes. So there's never like any whining and crying about it. And then dinner is really the only one that I plan and that I make, this really well-rounded sort of meal, and the only one that's really cooked, It's the only time of day that I really have to cook something. And so we'll do that, and I will just plan out the dinners. And we try to let it be easy, try to let it be as limited stress as possible. But a rotating meal plan where it repeats itself, making the same decisions over and over again, doing the same chores on the same days. These are ways that you can eliminate your decisions in a day so that you are not facing decision fatigue as early on as you have been. And there's one other thing. When I really noticed I was starting to do this was when I realized every single Monday morning I was wearing the same outfit and drinking from the same coffee mug. And that was like the catalyst in all this, where I was like, wait a second, I have worn this purple sweatshirt every Monday for since we moved into this house 3 months ago. And because I'm wearing my purple, mauve colored sweatshirt, I'm always drinking from my mauve colored cup because I always match my cups to my shirts. And that is my biggest mug. And Monday morning, I'm always I need my big mug. I started calling it my Monday mug. And then I realized my Monday mug always matches my mauve sweatshirt. I'm always wearing the same sweatshirt, the same black leggings. Every Monday, I was getting up and putting on the same outfit, having the same cup of coffee, and going through the same patterns and motions, sitting down with that purple sweater and the cup and planning out my week that Monday morning and saying, okay, where do I have to be? When do I have to do this? What are our dinners doing? When am I hitting the grocery store? And it just became this pattern that sort of made me realize I am cutting out a lot of decisions these days because of the systems and rhythms I've implemented and the fact that I'm willing to repeat things to keep this sort of a structure in my life. And oh my goodness, my ability to make decisions has increased big time. Decision fatigue, you can ask my husband, it was my downfall. It was the worst part of my day pretty much ever, was trying to make decisions in the evenings. I would just be spent. And the times that he'll ask me a question and I am just at the end of it, where I've already made all the decisions I can possibly make in a day, that it's expanded, and the frequency of me being totally decision fatigued has decreased exponentially. So I have to admit, creating patterns and rhythms and not overthinking things, letting yourself repeat what has already worked, it's genius. It's what all the bigwig producers of all your favorite TV shows do. They look at what's already worked. How can we repeat it? Do that with your day-to-day. Okay, this is CEO thinking. What has already worked in the past? How can we repeat that again? What worked yesterday? What worked last week? Do it again. If it's working, do not change it. Don't fix what's not broken. Lean into the pieces that went right, the good decisions you've already made. Keep making the same decisions until it's not working anymore, right? Expand your brain capacity by removing some of these decisions in a day. Give yourself rest. Allow yourself rest. Allow your brain that time to recover from decisions instead of exhausting yourself, making more decisions than what you already have to make on a daily basis. That's really it, my friend. That's the whole point here. I really wanted to share that with you. And let me remind you that last week we did the Ultimate Level Up Your Mom Life giveaway, and I have extended a sale on the product that I had involved in that giveaway, the Love Your Home course of mine, which I'm seeing you guys get into that. And I love seeing new signups and new faces in the class. Remember, Teachable is something that I'm going to be not staying on. Teachable is the platform that hosts all my courses, and I will be dropping down to their free version and no longer paying a substantial amount of money to them because I'm no longer focused on scaling business. I am focusing 100% entirely on home and family and self and podcast. So when I'm showing up here, I'm showing up podcast, not business. So I'm letting you know that course is not going to be available forever. In November sometime, I believe it's set for the 17th, I will be unpublishing courses, and I will not be allowed to have them all published on there at the same time anymore. And I don't know when things will be open. So since that's all up in the air, I'm letting you know things won't, forever be available. So if you want to get into this Love Your Home course, which is all about your mindset regarding your home, it talks a lot on how to create, your ideal day and working with what's already worked, leaning into what's serving you and letting go of what's not serving you type of things. That is on sale for $33, which is one monthly payment, whereas usually there's 3 monthly payments of $33. It is a $99 course that used to be a lot more before I got really mad at inflation and lowered all my prices. You're welcome. So What used to be a $188 course, you can get now for just one payment of $33. If you check out to pay in full at the $99 price and then use the promo code level up, all one word, level up, LEVELUP, just like the ultimate level up your mom life giveaway, then you can get it for just one payment of $33, which is an incredible steal. And I would just love to see you in there if that's something you're interested in. Now you know. All right. I love you so much, my friend. Thanks for being here.